You can find project manager, doctors, lawyers, but there's so few email marketing experts in the entire world. People typically tell me, oh, you're that guy who spam emails.
Yeah.
If you don't know where you stand, you don't know in which direction you should move.
Welcome to Email Einstein, a podcast by Flowium. It's time to start honing your inner marketing Einstein. Tune in for the data-driven tips that'll make you a marketing genius. Here you'll find email marketing formulas and tips straight from the brilliant mad scientists at Flowium. It's time for your emails to start earning more money. It's time to unleash your Einstein. Hey everybody, welcome back to Email Einstein. Elisa and Vera here with a very special guest. We are email marketers at an email marketing agency called Flowium. We are so passionate about email marketing, and because we love what we do, we want to share our insights with you. Flowium is one of the fastest growing email marketing agencies in the world. We specialize in providing a premium, full service e-commerce email marketing experience for all of our clients. Our service is tailored specifically for your business and is designed to help increase your online retail revenue by 20 to 50%. We deliver the right message to the right person at the right moment, which is what we're all about here at Flowium. Vera is going to hit us with our pro tip of the week, and then we're going to get started with our very exciting episode for today.
Hey everyone, Vera here. Alyssa, this part with deliver the right message to the right person at the right moment gets me every time. I love it. I just love it. So pro tip of the week today is for people who are either just starting with Klaviyo or starting with email marketing from scratch. So either you're like moving to Klaviyo from other platforms or you're starting from scratch. This will be really, really interesting for you. So in order to ensure that your campaigns are delivered to your customers, you need to warm up your list first. And the easiest way to do that is by building those like automations that have high engagement rates. So examples of automations with high open rates and high engagement rates are your welcome series, your exit intent flows, your abandonment cart flows. So before you start sending any like campaigns to your customers, start with the flows. Believe me, it will help you with your sender's reputation a lot. So this was kind of like a little pro tip of the week. And we are finally are excited to introduce our guest for today. So Alyssa, you can take it from there.
So we are very excited because we have a very special guest on with us today. I promise I am not brown nosing when I say this because our guest also happens to be our boss, mine and Vera's boss. He is the brains behind the Flowium operation and one of the master Jedis of email marketing, or as we would call here on the podcast, the email marketing Einstein himself. Aside from being a master of email marketing, he is also a seriously impressive CEO with an incredible story. He's a great boss to work for and work with, and he also has a cool accent. His story, again, is really, really interesting, so buckle up because you're in for a wild ride for today's episode. Welcome, Andrei Boychuk. I wish we had like a little applause in the background, like, woo!
I think we can do this. Watch me, Alyssa. Yay!
Thank you, ladies, for having me.
How do you like your introduction?
I love it. I love it. Actually, I have to downplay it a lot because you spoke such highly about me. I mean, when I introduce myself, I never use those kind of words.
Master Jedis? Really? You never use it?
Like
interesting.
Einstein. Like I'm not even like stand by Einstein. Like not even close.
Yeah, this is not a very Ukrainian last name, I bet. So, Andrei, before we go to all the serious questions and everything, we usually do this little blitz questions, like a round with 6 random questions. So I'm going to shoot you a really quick question and you just answer without like thinking, just the first thing that comes to your mind, okay? So, Staten Island or Brooklyn?
Staten Island.
Daughters or sons?
Daughters.
Actually,
there's no difference for me, but I have 2 daughters.
Your idea of a perfect Sunday breakfast?
Pancakes.
Ooh.
With Nutella.
I knew that you were going to say that.
Like the entire Flowium team like loves Nutella.
I know what we're going to get you for Christmas.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, Nutella subscription. Book you're currently reading.
The Messy Middle.
Oh, I've never heard of this book. Interesting.
It's like it's thicker than Bible, so don't even start.
Cool. Amazon or Shopify?
Shopify, 100%.
Klaviyo or Active Campaigns?
Klaviyo. However, it depends.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew it.
That was very expected. Well, Andre, I feel like it was a great warm up. So now let's get to serious questions. So, Andre, how did it all start? What's your origin? Let's go back like 10 years or 15 years. You are an immigrant. You came to you came to the States with your parents when you were a teenager. So tell us about that time. What's your origin and when did you immigrate to States and how was it?
Okay, I can tell you everything except the part I came to Canada because I didn't. Yeah, so I was 15, almost 16 years old, and I came to the US because of my parents. I didn't have a choice at that moment, so they went here and I just followed with my sister, and this is how I came here. Like, I went to community college, so that was like the typical stuff, just went to community college, then started a job. However, my job was a little bit unique. I was working in a moving company, like so moving people from one place to another place, like their furniture and stuff, moving huge buildings, apartments, and so forth. So I did that for 3 years while going to community college and downplaying my smartness. So typically it takes 2 years to finish community college, and it took me almost 4 years because of my English. I couldn't pass English tests, but I didn't. I'm very persistent, so I did it. Yeah, and after that, my friend invited me for a job. I had no qualification, only desire.
Wow.
So it was an engineering firm, and I always dreamed to be architect. And I knew how to draft, but I knew how to draft in with pen and pencil, not in a computer. So they gave me tasks and told me, here's the program called AutoCAD, and draw us like circle, line, and something. And I had to figure out on the fly how to do it, and I did it.
Wow.
And this is how they hired me.
Oh, gosh. Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised
no qualification.
You didn't need any qualifications or anything. Wow. That's interesting. I know really well about all this AutoCAD and 3D Max and all this good stuff because my husband, Andre as well, different Andre, just a quick note. Ukrainian was
different Ukrainian Andre.
Different Ukrainian Andre, yeah. He's an architect as well. Well, he was an architect. He's in e-commerce right now as well. So I know these programs really well because I was helping him with his assignments when we were back in university. So
funny story about the program. So when I started, I was so into this program. I was working, I believe, 10 to 14 hours a day because we were busy at that company. I was I'm so eager to learn and to succeed in that company. So sometimes I had dreams about drawing in that company and doing projects. So, I was waking up Saturday morning, okay, at that moment it was my girlfriend. She told me where are you going? I said I'm going to work, and she said Saturday. I'm oh, I forgot. So I was so into my job that I was 100% dedicated.
Wow. You're in. Really when cool. You're in, you're in.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Wait, so Andre, when you moved to the U.S., did you move directly to New York? Is that where you ended up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we went Brooklyn first.
Okay, cool. And that's where you've kind of been pretty much your entire time that you've lived here in the States, right?
Yes. So then I moved for 1 year to Queens, and after that, Staten Island.
Okay, cool. Queens is so I actually immigrated to the States when I was 5, and Queens is where we started. That's where my parents and I started living. So I kind of know the area. Now I'm a Florida girl, so I've forgotten all about that. But cool. Okay, so you were at an architecture firm, and then obviously because of your dedication and how much you were kind of persistent and you were determined to succeed, you kind of climbed to the top, and you eventually worked as a project manager over there. Is that right?
First of all, it was because if my ex-boss listening to it, it's not architectural firm, it was technology consulting firm.
Gotcha.
So we were low voltage engineers. So I was drafter, then senior drafter, then I become designer, then they involved me in design, then project manager, then senior project manager. And when I reached that level, I left. I quit the job.
Okay. Why did you quit once you reached? Seems like you like really reached the top and then you were like, okay, I'm out of here.
I didn't see any logical next step in that company, like maybe to become a partner or something like that. But I didn't want to stay in that industry. Like it didn't excite me. It excited me what I achieved, but
Right.
the industry itself, it was not my calling or my passion.
Gotcha. Okay.
Cool. So you leave your fancy job in Manhattan and you get off on this idea of creating the resource for immigrants. I am maybe like skipping to the next portion of your life, because that's actually when I've met you for the first time. I've met you as the owner or the CEO or whatever the name of the Immigrant Parada. So tell us a bit about that resource and tell us a bit about that time in your
so
life.
for the last 3 years before quitting my job, I was in parallel developing online community for Ukrainian immigrants who live in the States or planning to come to the States and to adopt this, different life, because life here is 100% different from life in Ukraine.
Yeah.
So I was building that resource myself. I wrote like close to 400 articles,
Wow.
recorded like close to 100 videos. And I quit my job because I thought that I can make a living with that platform, with that website. And at that moment, I was married and we had 1-year-old daughter. And my expenses, to support family, my expenses went a little bit higher. And we live in New York City.
Yeah.
In New York, not the city. So, and I believe we had $5,000 or $6,000 savings. And it took me 3 months to hit the bottom and to start spending everything like on credit cards or going negative. So then I realized like there's no way I can make money with this platform, with this website. And I started figuring out what can I do next? Like not what can I do next, but like how can I make money? How can I support my family? It was not about like my calling, my passions. It was about survival. And one thing that I was doing in this company, the Ukrainian organization, is we were heavily focused on email marketing. And when I start looking for jobs first on Upwork, I saw that email marketing, people are paying like close to $50 per hour for email marketing. And I'm like, come on, like everybody knows how to do it. It's like, it's so easy. Like it's just like second nature for everybody. And somebody paying like $50. And I remember like taking the first job, they paid me $50 and it took me like 8 or 10 hours to do. So you can do the math, how much I made per hour. Yeah. And this is how it started.
Wow. Okay.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And that resource, just like to make a quick note, that resource, Immigrant Parada, it's a really, really great resource and it's still existing. And how I learned about it, I basically started Googling something random like how to build a good credit history in the States or something like that. And your resources from your website were always at the top, because if you think about it, there's not so much like information in the internet in Ukrainian. So, that was a great platform, but what you're doing right now is, I don't know, my personal opinion, so much cooler.
Thank you.
So let's go from, so you were like, okay, let's start doing email marketing. You're starting to take jobs on Upwork. And then what happened from there? Like, how did you build this rapidly growing empire called Flowium? How did that all start?
I don't like the word you use at the beginning of podcast called boss. Like, I don't consider myself boss, but I like the word you just use, empire.
So you're emperor.
The emperor of the empire.
I like the joke. I consider myself leader, but not boss. So how did it get started? So, I was surviving. So I was doing any kind of project I could, like $5, $10, $20, $500, or like any project comes to somebody accept my offer, my proposal, I just did it. Like I was working close to like another like 14 to 16 hours per day just to break even. Sorry, not even break even, just break even with my expenses, but not even considering the debt. And I did email marketing for everybody, for dentists, lawyers, coaches, e-commerce. So I serve any kind of company. And like fast forward a few years, when I made enough money to survive, then I started realizing like what I'm really good at. And after analyzing all those projects, and even you can go to Upwork to check how many projects I did. I didn't make as much money, but there's crazy amount of projects like I did. So I figure out that e-commerce, this is where I do the best. So I start like slowly focusing on that niche, like email marketing only for e-commerce. So I did everything myself, and then I become popular, more and more popular and it's just organically grew up from like being freelancer to building organization, building agency.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you've started from Active Campaigns. That was the platform that you first was introduced to, correct? Because you were working with like different clients and not only e-commerce.
Yes. So Active Campaign was and still the preferred software if you're not e-commerce. But if you're e-commerce, we work only on Klaviyo because we personally believe it's the best email marketing platform for e-commerce. But if you're like dentist or a lawyer, I do not recommend Klaviyo.
Right.
In Flowium, like for our agency, since we are agency, we are service-based business, we are not e-commerce. We personally use Active Campaign.
Cool.
Got it. Okay, cool. So as you're moving along, you're figuring out email marketing is where you're at, but your strong suit in email marketing is e-commerce email marketing. And then you start this agency, but you didn't really even have the intention originally to start what Flowium has really transpired into. I mean, from my understanding, when you started, it was like, okay, I'm going to take on clients and I'll be my own kind of Flowium company. But then as you started to become more popular, you were like, oh my gosh, I need help. So then you started hiring people and it's growing and now it's kind of become what it is.
Now when you look back, it's like so organic and it's so like smooth. It was transitioning from one thing to another and like organically growing. But at that time it was not as clear like what am I doing. And like when I start freelancing, I created this website called Email Marketing NYC. I had no clue. Like I just created the website because I have like everybody has websites, so I created one. And like what name should I use? Like I didn't even think 2 minutes. I didn't invest 2 minutes to create a name. I just like, okay, I do email marketing and I live in New York City. Those two things are cool. So I put them together. A domain is available, pay $12 and
Oh, really?
And
wow.
I thought you did it because you were some kind of like SEO genius or something, search engine optimization thing. Because when you like literally type in email marketing New York, that was the first thing that was popping up. I thought it was for SEO purposes. Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't the fan of that name, honestly. It was like too long.
You have a cool story.
Yeah, like when you're like on these conferences and everyone is like asking you, hey, what's your company name? Or like, where are you from? And what are you guys doing? And this is kind of like the main sort of things that you were like discussing, right? This is your like icebreaker. This is the way that you connect with people. And I had this company name on the badge, and it was Email Marketing New York. So people literally didn't have me to ask anything because what you're doing, email marketing, where are you from? New York. And like, so this is like almost like too descriptive. I wasn't a fan of that name. I wasn't a fan of it at all. But hey, it worked out. Definitely.
It worked out, which is great. That's awesome. Awesome. Cool. I love hearing your story, Andre. I've heard it maybe a million times and I'm like, every time I hear it, I'm like, wow. It's like I've heard it for the first time. It's really cool. Really, really cool. So with regards to email marketing, as we kind of transition our questions over to like the logistics of email marketing and things like that, like what would you say were like one or two of the biggest challenges or obstacles that you faced when you first started email marketing?
Explaining to people what I do, like people outside of the industry. People typically tell me, oh, you're that guy who spam emails.
Yeah.
And when we had that name, Email Marketing NYC, I received actually a bunch of calls from like older generation and calling me like, oh, can I buy from you like 50,000 of email subscribers? I'm like, I'm not selling anything. Like,
or, oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Or I have 20,000 of emails I scrap from somewhere, from a different website. Can you blast them? I'm like, no, sir, I don't do this kind of service. So it was the personal challenge. In terms of like professional, and maybe for listeners who listen that, it was understanding the power of email marketing. So everything I did before, it was powerful, but what we do now, and when I start like developing Flowium and developing strategy, understanding how we can send relevant messages, and I know you love that term, how we can send relevant message on big scale. So yes, we send one message, but everybody receive a different kind of content in that message. So it was a challenge as well as a opportunity to learn and not improve, but master.
How do you now explain to your parents and grandparents and your older relatives what you do? Because I'm still having a hard time with.
Me too.
Actually, we working with Nata and Anastasia, like on our marketing department. So I told them, like, I have 4-year-old daughter. She asked me like, what do you do? And I have no clue how to explain.
Just say you're a fireman. It's like you're dealing with fires.
So we now we have this challenge, and we all three of us working together to trying to figure out like how to explain in easy terms, because nobody knows what I do. Like all my friends, they asking, and like at the end of the day, when we have like few beers and like, just tell us what you do. Like they know me for so long, and they still they have no clue what I do.
I feel like that's the struggle for all of us. So yeah. After you explain it to your 4-year-old, just give me the definition. I'll use it for my grandparents and my parents and everyone. So, Andrei, apart from your like own challenges and mistakes, what were the other like sources of learning for you? Like, where did you get this information when you first started? Any like courses, YouTube channels, anything like that?
The biggest mentor or the biggest resource for me when I started, it was Pat Flynn. Vera, you know, I love Pat Flynn from Smart Passive Income. And he has that ebook that he wrote like decades ago about email marketing. So I took that book and basically I built email marketing strategy based on that book. And one thing I learned, and especially if you're listening right now and you have any kind of agency, do not explain strategies in a word format. Try to put it in diagram. Try to show it people how it looks like. So people are better visual learner, or like they understand better in visual format than in text. So when I read Pat's book, it was text based only, and I transformed that book into diagram, and I sold that diagram to like all kind of businesses over and over and over and over and over again.
And we are still using those diagrams to this day.
Yeah, but at that moment it was version 1.0, and right now it's like version 1345.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, right now we're using this tool called Miro. We started using it when, like maybe 2 months ago or something, and it literally changed the way we do things. So if anyone is looking for some kind of like visual tool, this is the one to try. So.
Yeah. And I don't think they sponsor this.
Not at all. And this is not an ad. But dear Miro,
maybe future
if you
episodes.
Want to sponsor us, I'm your girl.
Oh, but by the way, I was invited to Miro, Washington, D.C. to talk about how we use Miro in our agency.
Okay, so maybe they actually can sponsor our podcast one day.
Yeah, that would be great. So, Andrei, what are some kind of so I guess this is applicable for when you started in email marketing, but then also with all of the knowledge and experience that you've gained over time. What have been the most typical email marketing mistakes that you've commonly seen with either clients when they're starting out with email marketing, or even non-clients? So like when you subscribe to an email newsletter list, what are some typical kind of mistakes that you see companies or people make when they're doing email marketing?
So the first thing is like strategic challenges. People create email marketing automations like on the fly. Oh, I heard about abandonment cart. Let's put abandonment cart. Oh, I heard Winback. What is Winback? Doesn't matter. Just put it in our system. Like, or Klaviyo is so good. They have like flow library. Let's just add those flows and we will be successful. Just imagine how they build houses. So they have a blueprint, they have architect, they have engineer to put everything on a paper before they start building. So we are email marketing consultants, specialists, like freelancer, who like whatever you call us, like we create those kind of strategies. So the most common thing I see clients, they don't have any clue what they have and what is the strategy behind it. So this is the most common mistake, number one. Second thing is like analytic deficiencies. Okay, I sent this campaign, the open rate is 55% and like click-through rate is 15%. Is it good or bad? It sounds good, but maybe it's bad. I'm not sure. Like, and if you don't know where you stand, you don't know in which direction you should move, or like, do I really need to invest in email marketing or not? Or on another end, I had some clients who like, we were prospecting and they like, oh, I have a 1% open rate and we are very successful. Like, I don't think we need your company. I'm like, okay, it's fine. But like 1% it's not even like we consider open rate. So like analytic deficiencies is a huge thing. Also like technical difficulties. You need people who know what they do from strategical perspective, but as well as from technical. So to put those automations together and troubleshoot them, it's technology, and there will be nothing perfect. There will be mistakes, either technical glitches or human mistakes, but somebody needs to be responsible. And that person, typically there's one person in the company who's responsible for everything and email marketing, and that person doesn't have enough hours in the day to complete. That's why they do it quickly and do mistakes. So the third mistake I see a lot in companies. And the last thing, to hire right people. Try to, when you have time, just look for email marketing expert. Google it. You can find project manager, doctors, lawyers, but there's so few email marketing experts in the entire world. Not only US, but like they don't teach this stuff in college, high school. It's like you cannot get the degree. I think we'll be providing soon certification for those kind of experts, but this will be flowing certification. But anyway, you cannot get degree. So how do you look for that kind of people, and how can you check they are real and they have results? So those are four main challenges that I see all our clients face with those four challenges or one of those four.
Yeah, and I feel like often people don't understand the return they can actually get on email marketing. So I think the number, and Alyssa, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 38-1. So for every $1 you spend on e-commerce email marketing, on average, you are getting like $38 back. So that's why it's like so important to find the right people. And yes, Andre, just like you said, it's not that easy to find the people who are specializing in email marketing. There are a gazillion of jack of all trades who are doing everything, and they can say, hey, we're going to do the branding, the messaging, Facebook ads, email marketing, everything. But I think this is the power of our company, that we are very like narrowly specialized on email marketing for e-commerce. So that's a big one.
Yeah, for sure. It still applies, Andre, what you said that you had gone through years ago when you were starting out in email marketing. There are tons and tons and tons of job listings on Upwork asking for email marketers. It's nuts. I still get like the notifications sent to my Upwork like, hey, we found all these new jobs that apply to what you do. And it's like 50 new listings looking for email marketers. And I'm like, holy moly. Don't people see this and think like, I got to learn this skill so I can take advantage of all these open jobs? It's nuts. It's really nuts.
Yeah.
And I told you this morning, like even story that we are prospecting one client, and the funny story that person like trying to get bids from different companies and all those companies and those resources all recommending us. And I'm like, even this morning I made a joke that we have like monopoly in this industry.
Yeah. Well, it's rare. And it's rare to have a company that specializes in the way that we do with e-commerce specifically. But then also you have these really large scale email marketing companies that it works very similarly to how the corporate world works, where a client makes a request and it's like, well, you need to put through that request and then we'll get back to you in 2 weeks about that request because it's just one big machine. Whereas for us, what we do is we really tailor in and focus on providing not only the high quality email marketing service, but then also that really tailored, specific, personalized, intimate kind of relationship with the client where they make a request and sometimes we can even do it within like 48 to 72 hours if they catch us at the right time, you know? So it's nice because there's that personal kind of like mom and pop shop aspect to what we do, but then also there's high quality work that comes along with it that you see these other kind of corporate, these more large scale corporate organizations kind of doing. So yeah, it's we definitely have a monopoly, I would say, to a degree.
Yeah, I feel like people don't understand that email marketing can really be like exciting, right? People get excited about Facebook marketing and about Google ads, but email marketing, I feel like people don't understand that it's still very much alive and it's thriving.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah. So, Andre, knowing everything that you know about email marketing, about e-commerce, email marketing specifically, what is the key message you want all e-commerce business owners to hear about email marketing?
Just be relevant. Like one person opens your email, they want to read it and not just archive it and move it to the next one. And to be able to accomplish it, you need to understand who is your recipient is.
Yeah, that's a big one. Relevant. Right message to the right person.
I love that word, relevant. It's like the only word we say.
I feel like we overused it. We should get the patent for that word.
There are actually two words, like relevant and big dogs.
Oh yeah, big dogs. Yeah. Love it.
Big dogs. We love relevant big dogs.
Relevant big dogs are our favorite. Send them over our way.
Okay, so Andre, with regards to, and actually I would like to know this too, as someone who works at Flowium. Where do you, so like kind of going at like the goals and plans, where do you sort of see Flowium in like the next 5 to 10 years? What other resources or services do you want Flowium to eventually provide, kind of like in an ideal, perfect world?
Sure. So right now we are like 99% service-based business and 1% educational platform. So moving forward, maybe in 5 years or 10 years, we want to be 50-50. So 50% service-based business us and 50% educational platform. So people can learn from us and either open their own agency or add service to their own agencies. So this is the goal. And in the future, I'm not sure like how far from today, but we want to add additional owned marketing channels to our services, like direct mail, SMS, and others.
Yeah, SMS is a big one. That's one that's people are like getting all buzzed up about, and they're like, okay, how do we do it? I'm like, everybody slow down. Let's focus on one thing at a time.
I thought, Andre, you were going to say something fun, like in 5 years, we're going to have the headquarters with roller coasters. Like, stuff like that.
So right now we are like, I believe in 9 countries. So tell me, like maybe you have ideas. How can we get together and be in one place?
Well, I heard Canada is nice. I don't know.
Vancouver, right?
Yeah, it's not bad. I heard it from a friend. I might be biased.
It would be cool to have like a company-wide retreat at some point. I think that would be awesome. But we'd have to find like maybe we'll all go to like Switzerland or something because they're pretty neutral, right?
Yeah.
It's like I feel like that's like a neutral spot for everybody to meet no matter where you're coming from.
Switzerland is not bad at all. So Andre, talk a little bit about all of the resources, like the educational resources that we are having right now with Flowium, because I feel like that's a big one, and you don't necessarily have to hire us if you're like a small business or if you're just starting, if you just want to learn more about the e-commerce, email marketing. But we do provide a lot of good, cool courses and information and stuff like that. So talk about this side of the business a bit.
Sure. I don't know, like maybe it's my personality, but I love to share, and I love to share what I know, and almost for free, but sometimes people don't want free stuff, they want to pay, so that's why I charge money. But this morning I checked that we have 117 videos on YouTube about Klaviyo, email marketing, and everything that we do, and some strategies like case study about loyalty program. Just type in YouTube Flowium loyalty program. I break down the actual strategy we use for one of our clients, and they pay us money to do that, and I'm just share it for free, so you're free to check it out and just copy what I showed you. So I'm big on sharing. And so YouTube won this podcast. I believe, what episode is this, like 8 or 7? Or
yeah,
like,
episode number 8.
Yeah, and we have now we working on creating blog posts. We have different cheat sheets. So we sharing a lot of content as well. We will be offering soon small packages, like if you want to hire us only for a loyalty program, or you want us to do the audit, it will be smaller packages and affordable for any kind of business, so small or big. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't mean like you have to hire somebody, us or anybody else. There's a bunch of free resources already. Yeah. Sorry, did I answer your question?
Oh yeah, 100%. And by the way, guys, Andrei have mentioned this, that we already have 8 episodes of this podcast, and we do have a lot of cool stuff that are coming. But if you're just starting with email marketing, I feel like our podcast number 6, or episode number 6, about the 3 easy ways to build a massive email list would be a really good one to go and to re-listen. So if you're just starting, that's the way to go. And also another cool resource that we do recommend to use is our community. We do have a really cool email marketing community, and to join the community, just type flowium.com/community, and we'll be happy to see you there.
Yeah, for sure. Andrei, thank you so much for today. This was so fun. And
see you in 1 hour.
Yeah, right. See you at the meeting in an hour. No, it's cool because it's like, it's nice to sort of like hear the story and the background. And it's nice because you also kind of get to share your heart behind the company and like what you really want to see this kind of flourish into. So it's nice. Like, I think one of my favorite things about working with Flowium is, aside from the work, which I love, but also it's nice that we are so open about sharing information with others, even if people aren't paying clients, or even if people aren't employed email marketers with us. It's nice because there are so many resources, and it's now kind of almost gone so over the top where like now Klaviyo themselves are starting to use some of the resources that we provide, and we're just very freely sharing, and it's a really nice environment to be part of because everyone's just really eager to learn. There's tons of educational resources available, and we're more than happy to kind of share that with everybody freely, which is really, really cool. So
I agree. Just to add to that, what you just said, I like to connect with kind of competitors of ours who do the same thing and share. Why? I mean, I believe in healthy competition, but there's so many e-commerce businesses, and because of COVID, it's like rapidly increasing, and there's no way one company or even like all those companies who on market right now can handle all e-commerce retailers.
Right. There's plenty of business to go around for everybody.
100%.
Awesome. So guys, make sure that you keep sending through your community questions to us by using the link in the description, or it's just flowium.com/ask. As we start to receive more and more community questions, we'll start to answer one question at the end of every episode every week. Make sure that you subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. And like Vera said, if you do want to get involved in a community, make sure that you join us at flowium.com/community. Super engaging, super fun, as we've kind of talked a lot about throughout this entire podcast. Everyone is in the mode of wanting to learn and wanting to share their knowledge with everybody. So there's no like, I'm an email marketer and I want to join this community, but I'm going to be kind of weird and stingy and not share information. That attitude is just not found in that community. Everyone is really open. People want to gain information and they want to share everything that they know. That's a big reason why we started this podcast in the first place. So like Andrei said, we like healthy competition, but there is a lot of e-commerce business to go around. So there's plenty to share.
Agreed.
Yeah, definitely. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. We do have exciting new email marketing podcast every week. And next week's episode, we'll be discussing the newsletter. So Alyssa, you can tell us a bit more about the next podcast.
So the infamous newsletter, and we've kind of touched on the newsletter in our very first episode, really briefly. Newsletter, that term sounds boring, and it sounds like something people don't read, kind of like a newspaper these days. But we'll be providing you all with ways to spice up your weekly or monthly communications with your subscribers, it's again, really huge to make sure that you're providing relevant communication and regularly engaging with your subscribers so they remember that you're there, you're kind of top of mind. So make sure you don't miss next week's podcast episode because it is important and that newsletter is a crucial part of your marketing strategy.
So thank you guys. Thank you, Andre, for coming. First of all, we're super happy to have you. And thank you for listening, everyone. Stay tuned and we'll see you or hear you or talk to you next week. Bye.
Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you, Vera. Bye.
Thanks, Andre. Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening to Email Einstein. Can you feel that? Your marketing brain just got a little bit bigger. We ask that you please use it wisely. You've got all the theory you need to get out there and start boosting your sales because great emails equals revenue squared.